Right Worshipful Brother Brian L. Pettis, Worshipful Master. Worshipful Brother Richard A. Thompson, Senior Warden. Brother Robert W. Hawkins, Junior Warden. Worshipful Brother Jerry H. Asprin, Treasurer. Worshipful Brother Robert A. Gill, Secretary. Worshipful Brother William L. Lucas, Chaplain. Worshipful Brother James D. Peplow II, Senior Deacon. Worshipful Brother Ronald J. Von de Boncour, Junior Deacon. Worshipful Brother Cody A. Oakwood, Senior Steward. Brother Andy II, Junior Steward. Brother Thomas G. Church, Marshal. Worshipful Brother Montel J. Smith, Tyler.
Brethren of Olive Branch Lodge number 38, you've heard the names of the brethren who have been selected as officers of your lodge for the ensuing term. If any member present knows of a just cause why any of the brethren should not be installed into office, let him speak now or forever after be silent. Brother installing Marshal, you will present the worshipful master-elect for installation.
Brother installing master, I have the honor of presenting Worshipful Brother Brian L. Pettis, Worshipful Master-elect for installation.
Brother installing Marshal, he will cause our brother to receive the benefit of prayer and take his official obligation. Brother installing Chaplain, you will deliver the prayer.
Most holy and glorious Lord God, we approach thee with reverence and implore thy blessing on Worshipful Brother Brian L. Pettis, elected to preside over Olive Branch Lodge number 38, and now prostrate before thee. Fill his heart with thy love, that his tongue and actions may pronounce thy glory. Make him steadfast in thy service. Grant him firmness of mind. Animate his heart and strengthen his endeavors. May he teach thy judgments and thy laws and be thy true and faithful servant. Bless him, O Lord, and bless the work of his hands. Accept us in mercy, hear thou our prayer, and grant our earnest supplications. Amen.
So
So
motivated.
mote it be.
My worshipful Brother Pettis, you will repeat after me your official obligation. I solemnly promise on the honor of a Mason
I solemnly promise on the honor of a Mason
that in the office of Worshipful Master
that in the office of Worshipful Master
of Olive Branch Lodge number 38,
of Olive Branch Lodge number 38,
I will to the best of my ability strictly comply
I will to the best of my ability strictly comply
with the Constitution,
with the Constitution,
bylaws, and regulations
bylaws, and regulations
of the Most Worshipful Grand Lodge
of the Most Worshipful Grand Lodge
of ancient, free, and accepted Masons
of ancient, free, and accepted Masons
of the state of Illinois,
of the state of Illinois,
and the bylaws
and the bylaws
of Olive Branch Lodge number 38,
of Olive Branch Lodge number 38,
and all other ancient Masonic usages,
and all other ancient Masonic usages,
so far as the same shall come to my knowledge.
so far as the same shall come to my knowledge.
Amen.
Amen.
My brother, in inducting you into your office as a symbol of the commencement of your government of this lodge, I am performing a most pleasing duty. By immemorial usage in the established landmarks of Freemasonry, you are to be installed as worshipful master of this lodge, with powers and prerogatives which are of high importance and due solemnity. The good resolutions which I doubt not you have formed in your own mind, that these powers shall not be abused or perverted by you, I would gladly strengthen by a word of admonition. The very consciousness of the possession of a great power will ever make a generous mind cautious and gentle in its exercise. To rule has been the lot of many, and requires neither strength of intellect nor soundness of judgment. To rule well has been the fortune of but a few. and may well be the object of an honorable ambition. It is not by the strong arm or the iron will that obedience and order, the chief requisites of good government, are secured, but by holding the key to the hearts of men. The office of master is of great antiquity and respect, and is one of the highest dignities to which we may aspire. It's incumbent to rule well, should possess and practice several important requisites. As a man, he should be of approved integrity and irreproachable morals, freed from the dominion of hasty temper and ill-governed passions, of good repute in the world, and practicing as an example to his brethren the cardinal virtues of temperance, fortitude, prudence, and justice. As a citizen, he should be loyal to his government, obedient to its laws, prompt in the duties he owes to society, and a pattern of fidelity in all social and domestic relations. As a Mason, he should cling to the old landmarks and be sternly opposed to their infringement, be desirous to learn and apt to teach, be prompt to aid and relieve, and be ever mindful, though elevated for a time above his fellows, he is elevated by them, and should therefore cultivate everywhere and at all times the golden tenets of brotherly love, relief, and truth. As an officer, he should remember first of all that he is an individual Mason, sharing in that respect a common lot with his brethren, and therefore interested in the welfare of each and all. Be devoid of undue ostentation and haughty overbearing. Be accessible to all, cultivating the closest friendships and the most unlimited confidence with his associate officers. Be ready to take counsel with his brethren and eager to give it. Be ready to reward good. Be devoid of favoritism and impartial. Such are some of the most important requisites the man possesses, and it may be that most, if not all of us, have failed to reach this standard, but it is attainable, and be it your purpose to reach, and be a bright and shining example to those who shall come after you. My brother, previous to your investure, it is necessary that you should signify your assent to these ancient charges and regulations, which point out the duty of the master of the lodge. Do you promise to be a good man and true and strictly to obey the moral law? You promise to be a peaceable citizen and cheerfully to conform to the laws of the country in which you reside. You promise not to be concerned in plots and conspiracies against government, but patiently to submit to the law and the constituted authorities. You agree to pay a proper respect to the civil magistrates, to work diligently, live credibly, and act honorably by all men. You promise to avoid private picks and quarrels and to guard against intemperance and excess. You promise to respect genuine brethren and to discountenance and posture all dissenters from the original plan of Masonry. You promise to be cautious in your behavior, courteous to your brethren, and faithful to your lodge. You promise to pay homage to the Grand Master for the time being and to his officers when duly installed, and strictly to conform to every edict of the Grand Lodge or General Assembly of Masons that is not subversive of the principles and groundwork of Masonry. You promise a regular attendance on the committees and communications of the Grand Lodge on receiving proper notice. You agree to hold in veneration the original rulers and patrons of Freemasonry and their regular successors, supreme and subordinate, according to their stations, and cheerfully to conform and to submit to the awards and resolutions of your brethren when in lodge convened, in every case consistent with the constitutions of Freemasonry. Promise to cultivate the social virtues and propagate the knowledge of the mystic art. You agree that no visitor may be received into your lodge without previous notice and satisfactory evidence of him having been initiated in a regular lodge. You agree that no man may be regularly made a Mason in or admitted a member of any regular lodge without previous notice and due inquiry into his character. Agree that no new lodge shall be formed without permission from the Grand Lodge, and that no countenance be given to any irregular lodge or to any person clandestinely initiated therein. You agree that it is not in the power of any man or body of men to make innovations in the body of Masonry. These are the charges and regulations of ancient, free, and accepted Masons. Do you agree to support these charges and regulations as masters have done in all ages before you? Right, worshipful Brother Pettis, in
I
consequence
do.
of your cheerful assent to these charges and regulations of the ancient fraternity, you are now to be installed as worshipful master of Olive Branch Lodge number 38, in full confidence of your care, skill, and capacity to govern the same. Brother and Solly Marshall, you will present the worshipful master elect at the virtual foot of the dais. Just stay seated, bro. My brother, with pleasure, I now cause you to be invested with the jewel of your office, the square. As the square is employed by the operative mason to fit and adjust the stones of a building, that all its parts may properly agree. So you, as worshipful master of this lodge, are admonished by the symbolic meaning of the square to preserve that moral deportment among the members of your lodge, which should always characterize good masons. You will also receive in charge the various books and implements used in your lodge. The Holy Bible, that great light in masonry, will guide you to all truth. It will make your duties plain and point out to you the whole duty of man. The compasses teach us to limit our desires in every station, that rising to eminence by merit, we may live respected and die regretted. The line teaches us the criterion of moral rectitude, to avoid dissimulation in conversation and action, and to direct our steps on the path which leads to immortality. The rule directs, I got mixed up on something.
You put the line in front of the rule, Sean, but you're right back on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Start me on the rule, would you, Jerry?
The rule directs that we should,
The rule
Punctual?
directs that we should punctually observe our duty, press forward in the path of virtue, and inclining neither to the right nor to the left in all our actions have eternity in view. You will also receive the Book of Constitutions, which you are to see duly and punctually executed. Cause it to be read in your lodge, that none may pretend to ignorance of the excellent precepts it enjoins. You will also receive in charge the charter, by which the authority of this lodge is held. As its lawful custodian, you are to carefully preserve and duly transmit it to your successor in office. You will also receive in charge the bylaws of your lodge, which you are to see carefully and punctually executed. Now, virtually present you with this gavel, which is an emblem of authority, by means of which you will be enabled to rule and govern your lodge with regularity. I now virtually seat you in the Oriental chair and cover you with that distinction, which in this lodge is one of your privilege to wear. Let's go ahead and sound the three gavels. Since you have a gavel, sound your three gavels. Worshipful master, behold your brethren. Brethren, behold your worshipful master. Okay. Any speech at this time, or we're saving that for later?
Oh, I'll do it later. I'll do it all at once.
Okay.
it's at.
Brother installing marshal, you will present the remaining officers by order of their rank and station.
Brother installing master, I have the honor of presenting worshipful brother Richard A. Thompson, senior warden elect, for installation.
Worshipful Brother Thompson, you are elected Senior Warden of Olive Branch Lodge number 38, and you will now be invested with the jewel of your office. The level demonstrates that we are descended from the same stock, partake of the same nature, and share the same hope. And although distinctions among men are necessary to preserve subordination, yet no eminence of station should make us forget that we are brethren. For he who is placed on the lowest spoke of fortune's wheel may be entitled to our regard. Because a time will come, and the wisest knows not how soon, when all distinction but that of goodness shall cease, and death, the grand leveler of human greatness, reduce us to the same state. Your regular and punctual attendance is essentially necessary. In the absence of the master, you are to govern this lodge. In his presence, you are to assist him in the government of it. Your fitness for the discharge of such important duties undoubtedly led to your selection for the office by your brethren. And it will be your duty, and should be your pleasure, so to act as to justify their confidence. Worshipful Brother Thompson, look well to the west.
Brother Installing Master, I have the honor of presenting Brother Robert A. Hawkins, Junior Warden-elect for installation.
Brother Hawkins, you are elected Junior Warden of Olive Branch Lodge number 38 and will now be invested with the jewel of your office. The plumb admonishes us to walk uprightly in our several stations, to hold the scales of justice in equal poise, to observe the just medium between intemperance and pleasure, and to make our prejudices coincide with the line of our duty. To you is committed the superintendence of the craft during the hour of refreshment. It is therefore indispensably necessary that you should not only be temperate and discreet in the indulgence of your own inclinations, but carefully to observe that none of the craft be suffered to convert the means of refreshment into intemperance or excess. Your regular and punctual attendance is particularly requested, and we have no doubt that you will be ever watchful, whether at labor or refreshment, that the high 12 of observation does not find you with your work, nor that of the craft you superintend unperformed. Brother Hawkins, look well to the south.
Brother Installing Master, I have the honor of presenting Worshipful Brother Jerry H. Askren, Treasurer-elect for installation.
Worshipful Brother Jerry Harold Askren, you are elected Treasurer of Olive Branch Lodge number 38 and will now be invested with the jewel of your office. It is your duty to receive all monies paid into the lodge from the hands of the secretary. Keep a just and regular account of the same. Pay them out by the order of the worshipful master and the consent of the lodge. I trust that your regard for good order will prompt you in the faithful discharge of your duties.
Brother Installing Master, I have the honor of presenting Worshipful Brother Robert A. Gill, Secretary-elect for installation.
Worshipful Brother Gill, you are elected Secretary of Olive Branch Lodge number 38 and will now be invested with the jewel of your office. It is your duty to observe the will and pleasure of the worshipful master, to record the proceedings of the lodge proper to be written, transmit a copy of the same to the Grand Lodge when required, receive all monies paid into the lodge, pay them over to the treasurer, taking his receipt therefore. Your good inclination to Freemasonry and your lodge will prompt you to discharge the duties of your office with fidelity, and by so doing, you will merit the esteem and approval of your brethren.
Brother Installing Master. Oh,
Go ahead.
Brother Installing Master, I have the honor of presenting Worshipful Brother William L. Lucas, Chaplain, appointed for installation.
Worshipful Brother Lucas, you were appointed chaplain of Olive Branch Lodge number 38 and will now be invested with the jewel of your office. The Holy Bible, which is the textbook of the chaplain's calling, is the great light in Freemasonry, and forever sheds its benign rays upon every lawful assemblage of ancient free and accepted Masons. Teach us from its life-giving precepts, and you will have fulfilled your sacred and important trust. It is fitting that an emblem of the sacred volume should be the jewel of your office, and with it you are now invested.
Brother installing master, I have the honor of presenting worshipful brother James D. Peplow II and worshipful brother Ronald J. Vadebon Kur, senior and junior deacon, appointed for installation.
Worshipful Brother Peplow, Worshipful Brother Vadebon Kur, you are appointed senior and junior deacons of Olive Branch Lodge number 38 and will now be invested with the jewels of your office. These rods are now placed in your hands as symbols of your deputed, which you will bear in the performance of your duty, are now placed in your hands as symbols of your deputed authority. It is your duty to attend on the master and wardens and to act as their proxies in the active duties of the lodge, such as the reception of candidates into the different degrees of Freemasonry, the introduction and accommodation of visitors, and in the immediate practice of our rites. The square and compass as badges of your office are entrusted to your care, not doubting your vigilance and attention. You will repair to your respective places in the lodge.
Brother installing master, I have the honor of presenting worshipful brother Cody A. Oakwood, senior steward, appointed for installation.
Worshipful Brother Oakwood, you are appointed senior steward of Olive Branch Lodge number 38 and will now be invested with the jewel and rod of your office. You are to okay.
Give it to Cody.
Close enough now. You are to assist the deacons and other officers in performing their respective duties. And when the lodge is at refreshment, it will be your province to extend to visiting brethren and stormtroopers such attention as circumstances may suggest. You will repair to your place in the lodge.
Brother installing master, that completes the officer's premises for installation.
Okay. Worshipful Master, this worshipful lodge having chosen you as its master and representative, it is now incumbent upon you, diligently and upon every proper occasion, to inquire into the knowledge of your fellows and find for them daily employment, that the art which they profess may not be forgotten or neglected. You should avoid partiality, giving praise where it is due, employing those in the most honorable part of the work who have made the greatest advancement for the encouragement of the art. You should preserve union in all causes, judge amicably and mildly, preferring peace, that the society may prosper. You should preserve the dignity of your office, requiring submission from the perverse and refractory, always acting upon and being guided by the principles upon which your authority is founded. You should, to the extent of your power, pay constant attendance on your lodge, that you may see how your work flourishes and how your instructions are obeyed. You should take care that neither your words nor actions may render your authority to be less regarded, but your prudent and careful example may give a sanction to your power. And as brotherly love is the cement of our society, so cherish and encourage it, that the brethren may be more willing to obey the dictates of Masons than you have occasion to command. And to the brethren, you, the brethren of this worshipful lodge, should carefully assist the master in the discharge and execution of his office, diffusing light and imparting knowledge to all the fellows under your care, keeping the brethren in just order and decorum, that nothing may disturb the glorious effects of harmony and concord, that these they may be the better preserved. You should carefully inquire into the character of all candidates to our honorable society, and recommend none to the master who, in your opinion, is unworthy of the privileges and advantages of masonry, keeping the cynic far from the ancient institution. where harmony is obstructed by the superstitious and morose. You discharge the lodge quietly, encouraging the brethren assembled to act cheerfully, that all, when dismissed, none may go away dissatisfied. And to the brethren, and you, brethren of this worshipful lodge, learn to follow the advice and instruction of your officers, submitting cheerfully to their amicable decisions, laying aside all resentments and prejudices towards each other. Let your chief care be to the advancement of the society of which you have the honor to be members. Let there be a modest and friendly emulation among you in doing good to each other. The complacency and benevolence flourish among you. Let your actions be squared by the rules of masonry. Let friendship be cherished, and all advantages of that title by which we distinguish ourselves, by which we distinguish each other, that we may be brothers, not only in name, but to the full extent, import, and latitude of so glorious an appellation. Finally, my brethren, as this association has been carried on with so much unanimity and concord, in which we greatly rejoice, so may it continue to the latest ages. May your love be reciprocal and harmonious. While these principles are uniformly supported, this lodge will be an honor to masonry, an example to the world, and therefore a blessing to mankind. From this happy prospect, I conclude, my brethren, with wishing you, all my brethren, joy of your master, wardens, and other officers, and of your constitutional union as brethren. Brother Installing Marshal, you will deliver the proclamation.
I am directed to proclaim and do hereby proclaim that the master, warden, and other officers elected and appointed to govern Olive Branch Lodge number 38 have been regularly installed in their prospective stations and places for the ensuing Masonic year, except the Junior Stewart, Marshall, and Tyler. This proclamation is made from the east. One gavel from the east. From the west.
Good job.
From the south. Go ahead and gavel one, Rob. There you go. Once. Back to you, Rob. Twice. Thrice.
I heard them.
Oh, did it? Okay.
They were light, but I heard them.
All right. All interested will take due notice and govern themselves accordingly.
Brother Installing Chaplain, you will deliver the benediction.
Almighty and everlasting God, from whom cometh every good and perfect gift, send down upon thy servants here assembled the healthy spirit of thy grace, that they may truly please thee in all their doings. Grant, O Lord, power of mind and great understanding unto those whom we have this day clothed with the authority to preside over and direct affairs of Olive Branch Lodge number 38. And so replenish them with the truths of masonry and adorn them with the humility of life, that by both word and good example, they may faithfully serve thee to the glory of thy holy name and to the advancement for all good purposes of our beloved institution. Amen.
So moted be.
Voted be.
Brethren, this concludes the installation of officers for Olive Branch Lodge number 38. I'd like to congratulate the new worshipful master and wardens and other officers on their election and installation. Wish you a good year coming up in 2021. Hopefully, we'll be able to start seeing more normalcy, or those parts of it in 2021. But you've done a fantastic job of continuing to operate, meet, and utilize technology to function throughout 2020, probably better than most any other lodge that I know of. So, with that being said, Worshipful Master, do you have any comments you want to make at this time?
Sure. First of all, I'd like to thank all of the brethren that agreed to and were elected and appointed officers and installed this evening. Thank you, brethren. Thank you for allowing me to be the master of Olive Branch Lodge. It is indeed an honor. I want to thank the installing team. I really appreciate you guys doing this. And I look forward to working with all of you throughout the year in a number of capacities. I'd just like to read the thanks and dedication that I had put on the program that I sent out to everyone. First, I'd like to thank my family for supporting me on all the paths Freemasonry has led me. I would like to thank all those brethren, many of whom are on here tonight, who have become friends as well as brothers on this journey. I would like to dedicate this year to all the brethren, past and present, of Olive Branch Lodge number 38, who have made the lodge what it is today. I would especially like to dedicate this to my late father, without whom I never would have become a Freemason. And a message from the master. I basically got this idea is just the program that James put together. I really liked it, so I decided to put it in my own words too. What came you here to do? To learn to subdue my passions and improve myself in Masonry. Brethren, we do not have to have a plan to change the world. If we change ourselves, if we become more educated, more deliberate, more moral, more spiritual, more kind, our world will be better because of it. Let's work to make our lodge a place where brethren can change. Again, thank you, everybody. I appreciate everything that everybody's done, and I'm looking forward to this year. If you ask me what my goals are for this year, I want to have, it's our 175th anniversary. So I want to have some good events. I hope we're able to meet and have some good events to celebrate that 175th year anniversary. And I just want, as I said, I want our lodge to be a place where we learn to be kind to one another, where we learn about Freemasonry. I would really love to see one or more of you guys make some presentations. Tell me what you think about the ritual. I mean, you guys are always hearing what I think. Everybody knows what I think. I would love to see you guys make a presentation. Everybody in the lodge wants to see you succeed in everything you do. And I would just love to see you guys become the ones that lead those discussions. So whenever you want to, just let me know and we'll make it happen. I do have one order of business. I was going through the lodge bylaws a couple of days ago, and it said that there are 3 bylaws required committees that the master is supposed to appoint tonight. And I would say before I read these names, I didn't get a chance to talk to any of you before I say I'm going to appoint you. But I think in some of our discussions we had during our meeting earlier, these committees, everybody's going to be performing the duties of these committees as needed. And it doesn't mean that you're solely responsible for what they are, but the bylaws required committees are the grievance committee, the relief committee, and the memorial committee. And I took the memorial committee to mean the funeral committee. So those committees, and I'm assuming that you're going to, given what I just said, that you'll agree to do them, but our grievance committee will be Worshipful Brother James Peplow, Worshipful Brother Ron Vedibakur, and Worshipful Brother Cody Oakwood. Our relief committee will be Worshipful Brother Richard Thompson, Brother Robert Hawkins, and Worshipful Brother Jerry Askren. And the memorial committee will be Worshipful Brother Bob Gill, Worshipful Brother Ron Vadaboncourt, and Right Worshipful Brother Sean McBride. As I said, a couple of those committees, we all do the duties of it, and one of them, we hope that we never have to do the duties of it, but if we do, we'll work through that then. So, brethren, that's all I have. Again, thank you.
I'd like to say congratulations, Brian, and we're looking forward to a really good 2021 year. And under your leadership, I think we're going to do it. So again, congratulations, and I'm pretty excited about working with you this year. Thank you.
Thank you.
Brian, again, congratulations and thank you for installing team.
I also would like you to thank you, congratulate you on your election, and thank you for the opportunity and the honor of helping with the installation.
Congratulations,
You're welcome.
Brian. Just thankful. Thank you that you allowed me to be part of it.
Thank you.
Brian, I'd like to offer my congratulations to you as well. Support you in any way I can this ensuing year. I'd like to say congratulations to Worshipful Brother James Peplow. In very difficult times, served excellent year as Worshipful Master, and James, a year to be proud of. You've grown a lot in the last year, and like I say, very difficult year. So congratulations to Worshipful Brother Peplow.
Very difficult. Thank you, James.
Yep. Thanks, James.
Awesome job.
Hey, how about that Sean McBride tonight, guys? Is he still on here with us?
Yeah.
Did you guys notice the script that we had? He didn't follow it because he wasn't looking at a script tonight.
So what's new?
He once again did this from memory. Sean, you're simply incredible. Always enjoy being a part of an installation team with you. Thank you very much for asking me to be the marshal tonight.
Very good.
I wish, Sean, I would have to do this again. I would have liked to have had the implements that are handed to the master, just to flash them as we're going through those. As you started on those, I thought that would have been something so simple to have: the rule, the rope, and the guide, the line. Those things. I wish I would have thought of that earlier. Maybe on the next virtual, we'll do that.
Cody had the rod.
He did.
Worshipful Master, I just want to say congratulations. And if refreshments means peanut butter and jelly and hot dogs, we're good to go.
Congratulations, Brian. I look forward to this year.
Thanks.
Congratulations, everyone. And James, through a difficult year, you've done amazing. Thank you. And again, congratulations, everyone. And thank you for the installation team. Very much appreciated.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did a good job as usual.
Night, guys.
Good night.
Brethren, before you get off, I don't